Thank you, Mr. President. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I'm the senator from the 14th, and this is Trump Morning News. Welcome to Trump Morning News, a new 2025 podcast featuring your favorite in news entertainment, Trump Morning News. We'd like to introduce our podcast today and give you a couple guidelines and thoughts about what to expect over the course of this season's podcast. It's impossible, frankly, to capture all of the Trump news that comes across your desk. It's a little bit tiring, am I right? But we're going to do our best as Senate Democrats to highlight a couple of the biggest Trump stories from the last week to give you a sense of the health of your democracy. Today in Trump Morning News, you have on your desk a call log from a Sergeant Gonell, former Capitol Police. He is a crime victim. We have talked a lot about crime victims in this chamber. This is a list of calls from the United States Department of Justice. Typically, this is not the type of list of calls you would like to receive on any given morning, but Sergeant Gonell received these 10 or so calls the morning of January 21st. Why? Each individual call is a call from the Department of Justice notifying Sergeant Gonell that one of the offenders that he testified against on January 6th, relating to January 6th, had been released from custody. Why? Because sitting President Trump has pardoned roughly 1,500 people who are involved in the January 6th march on the Capitol. Some are calling it an insurrection. Normally, when you are a crime victim of, let's say, rape, sexual assault, or a very serious crime, it is life-changing to get one of these phone calls because it means you have risked your life to go to court and testify against somebody violent who might want to hurt you if they're released. Apparently, he picked up one of these phone calls, I guess, just to figure out what was going on. It's in color. We don't know what's going to happen yet with all of the Proud Boys and other folks who were released by President Trump, against his vice president's wishes, by the way. VP J.D. Vance went on record saying that he didn't think the violent offenders from January 6th should be pardoned. But they were. And now they're already on message boards and comments threatening the same people that they antagonized, drove to suicide on January 6th. Same type of people. The officers. So again, crime victims and officers. Two people that we say we care a lot about in this chamber on a regular basis. So again, we're the state government. We can't do much. Listen, this is just a friendly podcast meant to remind you of the morning news. There's obviously nothing you could do in your capacity as state legislators about President Trump's pardons. Nothing the Republican Party could have done in the last 20 years to stop any of this from happening. But good morning and welcome to this season's podcast of Trump Morning News. Da, 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 da. Thank you, Mr. President.